Hey everyone, this is Stacia, and we're going to take a look at a game that I played on chess.com. And well, there's a lot to learn from this one. It was pretty rough, so let's have a look. E4, E5, knight F3, knight to C6, and bishop C4. So this is the Italian game, and I used to play bishop to C5 here, but now I play this move, knight to F6. Okay, and for any newbies out there, if you play knight to F6, you have to be ready for the move knight G5. This attacks your F7 pawn. And there's only one defense to this, only one good defense, and that's the move D5. I guess you could also play bishop C5 here. It's interesting. But yeah, so I did that. And my opponent played the move D4. So this is a little more unusual. And I will use the opening book here just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is the third most common opening, and this is called the open two knights. But it often transposes into a Scotch gambit, which is what happens this game, and happens probably most games where this takes place. Okay, so it's already a Scotch gambit after taking the pawn. He castled. And I played bishop to C5 in this position. Actually, I might have been thinking it was a different position than it is, but this move, bishop to C5, this is called the Max Lange attack. So, yeah, buckle your seatbelt. It gets crazy. This allows the move E5, which was played. Now that attacks my knight. I don't think I can go knight E4 here. Let's find out if I can. I'm looking at it. If knight to E4, maybe rook E1. So let's find out what the computer would do. If knight to E4, it says queen E2 wins. It attacks the knight again. If D5, there's en passant. Oh, and we want to be able to do this, but alas, it is pinned. So knight E4 is just like not an option here. Turns out knight G4 is actually a real move, but I played the most common move, which is D5. So this is a common device that is used, that when E5 is played by white, we counter with the move D5. And if they go en passant here, we could just take with the bishop probably, but even better is just castle, which is kind of funny. Because if the pawn takes here, we just develop our queen. Helps us connect our rooks. So that would be fine. Okay, so D5. He did take the knight. And this is, as far as I know, the main line of the Max Lange attack. So I take the bishop, and he played rook E1 check. Okay. I saw this was possible. I thought bishop to E6. I also want to look at this though real quick, like, because he could take here. Like, is this a move? I think it is. Yeah, it's second most common. They take here, probably rook G8. We have to move our rook. We can attack the pawn, line up with the king. So that's a nice move. And then bishop G5. Yeah, I've had games like this, I swear I have. Queen's attacked. Wow, bishop E7 is the main move. But you can also play F6 here. Wow. Let's see what the computer wants. Computer wants bishop e7, but it says white is better. Yeah, rook e1 now. Wow. So yeah, computer really likes this move, pawn takes g7. Prefers that one. Okay, but my opponent did choose to check. Now I can go bishop to e6. I didn't know this, but the computer wants king to f8. I think you'd have to really study this with like a strong computer though, not like the chess.com engine, which like thinks a tiny bit and then stops. Don't do that. Like you would need like a strong engine that could run for a while to figure out if king f8 is correct. I have my red wine as usual, enjoying that. Okay. I saw bishop b6 was possible, so I allowed the check. And after knight to g5, well, this is the critical moment. So if you want to pause your video, try to figure out what would you play here as black. Go ahead and figure that out now. Okay, well, I think it's really tempting to like grab the pawn. So I definitely was thinking about that. I was definitely thinking about queen to d5. That defense here, I could at least take back with a pawn. I mean, I cannot take back with a queen. There'd be rook takes queen. And aside from that, is there anything I considered? I think I was pretty much torn between those two moves. All right, so I'm going to turn on the engine now. Oh yeah, there's another move. The move g6. Wow. I think I will actually play this move the next time because it looks super interesting. Have you ever seen a position like this? So the point is that the pawn cannot take anymore. It's not there. I mean, it's scary to make a pawn move, but if the computer says it's best and I know the line, I will play it. All right, so here queen f3 is best. That defends the pawn. Wow, and then we castle queenside. This is a very scary line, to be honest, because like I know the bishop's guarding here, but all you need is this kind of idea and we lose. But I am open to it. Okay, so we'll stop there on that line. In the game, I did decide on queen takes f6. It turns out that this is a common trap in the Max Lange attack, and I fell right into it this game. So this is what happens when you don't know your openings, or you change openings a lot, which I am doing. For good reason, though. I'm learning more. But you're going to have some losses. So here, my opponent actually has knight takes bishop. I saw this was a move. I thought pawn takes, no problem. But then queen h5 check occurred. And to my horror, I realized that my bishop was undefended. On the c5 square, I have nothing better than something like g6. Let's see what the computer says. Well, the computer wants queen f7, but okay, g6, and he took. And white is winning. I mean, it's pretty much game over from here. I did make some progress, but let's go back and look at what the right move is, because I am not falling into this trap ever again. And if that's true, if I never fall into this trap ever again, then this game served a purpose. It's a training game after all. So after knight to g5, we could play g6. This is a computerish move that maybe I could study. But the main move is queen to d5, the other one I considered. Okay. And then let's just look at how the line would continue. It says knight to c3, which I think is interesting. Yeah, this is the main move. Wow. I'm kind of baffled. What's going on here? It has to do with e6. So if we take the knight, what happens? Something bad, I think. Oh, the bishop's pinned. I'm so blind. Yeah, the bishop is pinned. It cannot take the knight or the queen. So for that reason, they can actually play this move. We cannot take. Wow. So because the bishop is pinned, this pawn is pinned too, because this is not actually defended. That is really fascinating. That's kind of pretty. All right, so the best move is queen f5 here. That does put pressure on the pawn, which is x-rayed by the bishop too, by the way. So we're kind of threatening this move. All right, and they go knight c to e4 here. Knight c to e4. Attacking the bishop. Black castles. g4. Wow. I was just looking at a line. Sorry if I got quiet for a second. I was thinking, you know, why can't we take that pawn? So maybe if queen takes, it's probably just this. Although I was also looking at this kind of thing. Yeah, it's probably just that. Okay, so like, computer says, yeah, take, and, oh, wait a minute. Oh, this too. Didn't even see this one. Oops. That is a fork. That's better than taking the bishop? Wow. So if they take the bishop, which is what I thought, then we go here, attacking this. Ooh, we have play against the king all of a sudden. h3, bishop h5, knight e4. Okay, it's getting computerish. But yeah, this is a common trap, is basically the lesson. You cannot play queen takes f6. They take here. And what I missed is that when this pawn captures the knight, you know, that's why John Bartholomew calls this the forget about it pawn. Because now there was this check, and I just missed this fork. So, and my opponent no doubt had this line memorized. They had 16 minutes on their clock, which is a whole minute more than what we started with. And clearly I didn't know what I was doing because I'm down to 11 minutes. I was thinking every move. But this is how we learn, so I fell for a trap this game. So be it. I'll be back, though, stronger than ever. All right, thanks for watching.